Shannon Sharpe sat down with Amanda Seales. I had no idea that Amanda Seales' resume was so extensive. Actor, singer, rapper, author, show host, teacher, scholar. I don't know. She's got like 18 different things. I was very impressed. I just thought she was crazy. Volatile. I'm not on her like that. But I know a lot of my audience people, they watch, they like Amanda Seales. I like her. Really? Every time I heard it was like bad stuff. I didn't form an opinion about her like that, but it did seem like she had an attitude. I'm like, why Sharpe's got an attitude? Why does she cry so much? Like, I don't have time to figure this out, man. I'm a guy, man. I'm an old school guy, man. I got time. Women start crying, I start walking away. Please go check out the interview yourself and give him the viewership as well. I want to talk about 2 clips of the Shannon Sharpe-Amanda Seales interview. Clip number 1. There was an exchange between Shannon Sharpe and Amanda Seales, and this one was about race.
Yes, but not for what do you think they were about?
There were a lot of parent-teacher conferences with you, huh?
Yes, but not for what do you think they were about?
Your excessive talking, maybe the doodling.
Funnily enough, no. You know what the parent-teacher conferences were about?
What?
Amanda is sticking up for other kids in the class. Amanda is correcting me. Like, I had a teacher, Miss Schwenk, who called a conference because she was talking about Aboriginal art. Mm-hmm. And she said that she stood in front of the class and said, that the Aborigines are a Stone Age people. And I was like, ma'am, there are Aboriginals alive right now. Like, they are a part of civilization. Like, what are you talking about? And she's like, well, no, what I mean is that they've never advanced. And we in a classroom in Orlando, Florida. So, like, if we don't check this type of stuff, it's going to just continue. So I was that student. Like, I was the kid who was always raising my hand and just wasn't easily appeased by simply just someone being an authority.
Right.
And I love this because when she called my mom and said, I'd like to set a conference up because I have some complaints about Amanda. My mom said, well, that's interesting because Amanda has some complaints about you. And so they came to the meeting. And it was my mom and Mr. Wright and Miss Cersei. It's all Black people at Dr. Phillips High School in Orlando, Florida. And this lady sat there and actually you and Mr. Wright had the same build. And Mr. Wright was like, all right, so, we're here to discuss Amanda disrupting the class with her talking. And she was like, no, Amanda doesn't disrupt the class with her talking. She actually helps the other students out. He's like, oh, okay. So is it about her grades? And she's like, actually, no. One of her art pieces is featured in our exhibit at the library. And he's like, so what are we here for? And she's like, well, she corrects me in front of the class. And these 3 Black people are like, here we go with this racist bullshit, because that's really what it is. We're in Florida in the 80s and the 90s. And
but let me ask you this.
Okay.
Do you think she would have felt equally as offended if a white kid, because I'm assuming this teacher was white, right? Mm-hmm. If a white child would have corrected her, I think most teachers would feel some type of way if a child corrects them.
That's not for me to surmise. I'm just saying that my experience was this lady giving wrong information.
Yeah.
And I'm allowed to correct her. Now, this is the same lady who tried to accuse me of stealing. And when a white girl said, no, Amanda didn't steal it, I did. She was like, well, I think both of you need to go to the principal.
Right.
I'm in Orlando, Florida, which is a notoriously racist state, Florida, in the 90s. And I'm talking to you about a white woman who is speaking about Black people, indigenous people in a country where those same indigenous people have had all of their land taken from them by former criminals that were sent there from England. And she is calling them Stone Age people. And I, as a Black girl, the only Black girl in her class, am correcting her.
But my thing is, you're right. She possibly misspoke or she didn't know. I
guess my question to you is, why do you even feel compelled at this juncture in this interview? Why would you even feel compelled to try to
because I'm not defending, but my thing is that what I'm trying to say, most adults, when kids correct them or speak, feel some type of way. This is not unique to a black, white, or white, black.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm sorry that you took it that way. But I remember when I was growing up, my grandparents and parents said, hey, kids, stay in your place. Adults are speaking. That's all. Maybe that didn't happen where you were from in Orlando, Florida. But where I grew up when I grew up, kids did not correct adults. So I apologize if you thought it came off as combative.
No problem.
I'm sorry, man. Amanda's face, man. Wow. 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 Shannon Sharpe, my brother. Okay. Let me get her off the screen. Let me go back because I'm gonna want to use this. Okay, guys. First thing, of course, I want to hear your opinions on this. Dog. If someone tells you they had a racism moment, you should just believe them. If someone says they were mistreated by someone, and they think it was race, you should just believe them. You should not try to play devil's advocate on what they felt, what they've been through. You weren't there, right? So then Amanda gets to hit him in the head with, oh, I was the only black child in there. And remember, she's talking about indigenous people, which kind of, I'm black, so I'm standing up for those people. And she basically called them Stone Age and primitive, and this is not cool. And she just had it out for me because I was the black kid and whatever. I got a different insight on this. I haven't watched anyone, but from the couple of the comments I saw on another channel when I got this on Twitter, I haven't seen anybody say this. So let me say this for the record. Remember, I said this first. I think that part of the problem here is that Shannon Sharpe got bad information about Amanda Seales. Yeah, it's like they did their recon on Amanda Seales. You know, you bring her on the show, you want to know who she is. You want to know what she's about. And he had to know, people told her that she was difficult. They probably also told him, I'm sure they told him she was difficult, because that's the running thing. I mean, I'm not even a person that really consumes her content. I've never listened to her podcast, but even I've heard that about her. Therefore, I'm sure Shannon Sharpe, if Shannon Sharpe is a company now, he had to hear that. So he was kind of I feel like he was trying to do something, scrutinize her. He didn't want to give it a layup. He wanted to kind of push back. He wanted to kind of try to whatever. Amanda Seales is a pretty smart lady. So I wish I'd have been able to tell him, I don't do that. Just do what you've been doing. You've been coming here and letting everybody else's talk. Let her just talk and tell your story. You don't have to try to correct her and tell her that she's wrong about her own experiences. Imagine if I came and told you, you know, brother to brother. Let's say I'm talking to my brothers right now. Let's say I'm telling you a story about this time these brothers trying to jump me. They jump me and they beat me up or whatever. And you're like, well, maybe you had it coming. Maybe what'd you say to him? I didn't say nothing to him, man. You know, you probably had to look at him funny. When I'm saying he sucker punched me from the back as I was walking back to my car with my Wendy's. Nah, man, what'd you say, man? What'd you say, dog? What'd you say? And that would be a Bama move, right? That would be some punk move, right? For you to second guess the story I'm telling you. Nah, man. At that time, I was just walking with my food, about to take my kids their little kids meals with the little small, little McFlurry, not McFlurry, but the other thing, the Frosty. That's it. Yeah, I was gonna bring those to the kids, and this guy sucker punched me. Then his friends came, jumped in, started kicking me. Like, oh no, man, I don't believe that. I don't believe that, Skip. I don't believe it, Skip. Come on now, Skip. Come on now. Nah, see, that's corny. See, you would not do that because you sound like a sucker, for real. Well, that's how Shannon Sharpe sounded to her, man. You sounded like, first of all, you second guessing a personal story. And even if you're right, she could just keep adding things and layers to it that makes any point you're trying to make null and void all of a sudden. And instead of saying, oh, she got me, you got me, I didn't know you was the only black kid in the class. I didn't know this. I didn't know that. My bad. He wanted to double down. Got kind of, got a little excited. His voice did one of those, went up a couple octaves. Amanda Seales is not the easiest person in the world to deal with. I've had these situations. There are sisters that can get this way on your ass. But typically, you could have avoided it. In this case, I got to side with Amanda Seales on this because you can't tell somebody what their experience is. It's a personal experience. They're telling you their story. You have to give them their grace. Give them that. Also, last thing, guys, then I'm going to go to some comments. I hope I get some comments. I don't think you do a guy the same way. Yeah, I think this whole rap that people give, and I'm not one of those people that's maybe it's just lack of education. I don't know. I'm not trained in CRT and all these things. Some of these disciplines, like some of the master's degree having folks. But I gotta say, man, people say Amanda Seales is hard to deal with and these things. I'm seeing it a little bit different now. She's opinionated. And she's firm on her point of view. I don't know, but that's so difficult. If you're a guy and you're opinionated and you're firm on your point of view, you're Tim Black. You're not hard to deal with. You're a guy. That's how you're supposed to be. It's this notion that women are supposed to be nice, especially light-skinned women. I know it's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong, but that's how it is. If Amanda Seales was a dark-skinned sister with some twists, she'd be fine. But they're expecting in that package, that petite, light-skinned young woman, they're expecting her to be, hi, I'm Kerry Washington. Hello. Yes. They're expecting Tracy Ellis Ross. And instead, they're getting Monique. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense. So even Shannon here is caught flat-footed. Oh, come on, Skip. I want flat-footed. Come on now. What do you guys think? Am I okay? Do you see my point of view? You may not agree with it, but does that make sense? That's my observation on this. All right. Thank you. Miss Kawami says, I love your content, Tim. Thank you, Miss Kawami. That makes me. Thank you, sister. See, I appreciate you. Like, I know I get things wrong sometimes, right? But I am sincere, even when I'm stupid. Even when I'm wrong, I'm sincerely wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's not a motive, right? It's just, I listened to most of that interview and it's like, she didn't take nobody's money and people still mad at her. Like, there are people that stole money from people. She didn't physically, she didn't do anything to people and people don't like her. I'm like, what'd she do? Like, she just talks too much. Like, shit, everybody talk too much. Anyway, ask the young kids, TikTok was named something else. They just go through, change the name again. Okay, change the name again. Okay, my bad. I didn't know that was on that comment. Anything about Shannon sounds like a slave. God. Come on down, Skip. He does. But you know what? William? I think it's generational. He's conservative. See, not all black people are the same. Amanda Seales is probably one of the most progressive sisters on the internet that we know that has a platform. One of the most progressive. And Shannon Sharpe is a conservative, older black man to her from the South. Amanda Seales she lived in Florida, but she says, I'm a New Yorker at heart. So We got a cultural blind spot, an age differential, and in political denomination differences of belief systems. We got all this going on. Let's not villainize him, right? But just let's accept that's his point of view. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was funny as hell. He a slave. That's funny as hell. Tom Rex says yes on Amanda. Light skin, red bone. That's how they expect him to be. Then they flatten all your tires. You're like, hey. First of all, he knew how brash and insolent Amanda Seales was. He knew he wasn't a docile, light-skinned woman before she came in the show. Yeah, that would be true. He would know that. But, yo, Q, if that's the case, Q, don't he get props for bringing her on? Huh? Let's remember something, guys. What other big platforms have you seen Amanda Seales on? I'll wait. I hate when people say that, but that's what they say. I'll wait. And they just scored a big major knockout. And they just dropped the bomb. They dropped the elbow on you. But nah, seriously though, real talk. I haven't seen Amanda Seales on anything. Isn't that what she's complaining about? How you go from hosting BET at your house during a pandemic to never being invited back to the BET Awards or any other show for the last couple of years? She really pissed people off. I don't know what she did. How you go from being nominated for an NAACP Image Award to not being even able to go to the event? Yo, what'd she do? You think she was calling out Joe Biden? All right, I got another clip. Amanda Seales. This one. Now remember, this first clip, this was from the beginning of the show. That clip I just showed you was only 10 minutes in or 15 minutes into the show. I'm keeping it real. Like, this interview started off rocky, but it got better. Okay, it got better. Even towards the end, I saw them hug each other. So I don't want you to be sitting here thinking, what the hell wrong with Shannon, man? Nah, they cleaned it up. The second clip, Shannon Sharpe talks about Candace Owens. And so does Amanda Seales. Check it out.
I wasn't ready for that.
Sometimes, and it's happened before, people in our community forget that they're black. And they try to appease a group of people that's probably never going to embrace them. And once they realize that, guess who's the first group to take them back?
I don't know her.
You know, I ain't say nobody's name, Amanda. You don't even know who I'm talking about.
I don't know.
How you know who I'm talking about? But we've seen this happen before. Rest his soul.
Hold on, guys. I got to give that some love because that shows what we're able to do, right? We can bounce back from an awkward moment, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I've had to do that. Y'all should go look at my Lunel video. Oh, my God. I interviewed Lunel, and she wanted me to, I'm thinking she'd come on the show. She's going to be fun, interesting. We're going to have a good time. She was like, you didn't do your homework. I'm like, homework? I thought we were going to have fun. Talk about stuff that's going on in the news. You're like, no, you need to know about me. I went to school for journalism, and I had a public access TV show. Like, oh, okay. Sorry. Your manager person didn't tell me all this when we set up the interview. It was just like, come on through. But later on, it got a little bit better. So I've had rough interviews, but since then, you know, I've been able to turn around a bad interview and kind of keep it moving. Shannon Sharpe did that right here. And Amanda allowed that to happen. They did that together, a joint effort. So we should give it up for that, y'all. We should give it up for that. See, we're going to be critical when Shannon And Amanda, like when it was the energy was ill, the energy was jacked up. But now the energy is different. So I wanna play that again. I just want to point that out, man. Yeah.
O.J. Simpson, he had the famous quote, "I'm O.J., I ain't black." Even Michael Jackson went through what he went through, rest his soul.
Right.
Even Kanye had to be reminded. And now Miss Owens, who, I don't want no black pilots, I don't want this, I don't want that. And now we can't keep off our black media stations. When before she gave us her butt to kiss. Now, if I'm lying, if I'm speaking out of turn, people, y'all correct me. But y'all know I'm telling the truth. Now, you're talking about somebody that's always uplifted his community. And I was one of the first guys that had a viral moment with Cat Williams, and they couldn't wait. They couldn't wait to attack me. But Candace has given y'all her butt to kiss for 2 decades. And the moment, what they doing? They can't fire me. They can't fire me. The hell you say? Now look at her.
It's not her fault.
Whose fault is it? No. Let's not take that blame.
That let her back in.
Huh?
The spaces that let her back in.
Oh, okay. But that's how we are. We're very forgiving people.
Who taught us to be that?
We do.
Who taught us that version of forgiveness? Do I need to do the lesson?
No, because I know.
Them slave owners taught us that version of forgiveness. They gave us a Bible called the Slave Bible. And this Bible had parts of it taken out. It had the parts of uprisings taken out. It taught about forgiveness because they needed to make it okay in their minds.
No matter how bad I treat you, at some point in time, I need you to forgive me for the wrongs I've done against you.
Because they had convinced themselves that it was still okay to keep people enslaved whose souls were saved.
Yeah.
Even though they knew that was counterproductive to the teachings that they had learned. So, we are oftentimes forgiving to our own detriment.
We are.
And listen, here's the thing. You know what the thing about forgiveness is that you should absolutely forgive people who ask for it.
Right. Right.
Who ask for it.
And I'm okay with that. I'm okay to forgive.
Redemption,
I don't forget. I just move on.
But redemption requires action. Mm-hmm. There are restorative justice practices that have to be implemented in order for atonement to truly take place. And when that's not the course of action, it looks like something else, right?
Yeah.
It looks yucky. It looks like capitalism. It looks like clickbait. Yeah. It looks like naivete. It looks dumb. And it looks insulting to anybody who has a mind. Mm-hmm. And ultimately, again, I will bring it back to what makes a black space at this point. Mm-hmm. Because when I create black spaces, Shannon Sharpe, mm-hmm. like Smart, Funny, and Black,
right.
like my podcast, Small Doses, my radio show, The Amanda Seales Show, we literally do black-accurate news. Mm-hmm. When I create black spaces, the word black in that context is always about community. You said it earlier.
Right.
So my problem, like you've already pointed out, is that I'm thinking, well, when they make a black space, it's also the same thing. But baby, I got kicked out of a black space. You know what I'm saying? I literally got kicked out of a black space by a black woman who sick black people on me, black men on me to remove me. So at this point, I understand that we can't just look at black people and say, is this skin folk or kinfolk? We got to look at black spaces. Is this skin folk or kinfolk? And all of these black media spaces that took her back in, all of these black media spaces that have just excoriated me for weeks, I look at them and say, you are simply black by name because you are white by commerce.
Mm. Whoa, wow. Whoa. And then Shannon Sharpe. And then Shannon Sharpe. He does the thing that I can't stand. He does the thing I can't stand it. He did it with Cat Williams. And I detest it. I detest this. Oh God, I detest it, folks. He does this.
When I saw people taking shots at Angel Reese for crying, because for the longest time,
She is a young person. Do you know how disgusting that is? And that cornball nigga who loves to make himself look like he's the white people's savior.
Who said that?
Emmanuel Akko.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Corny C-band.
Oh, Lord have mercy, man.
Come talk to me, white people. I'm the black guy that's nice. Cut it out. It's ridiculous.
Man, I know these people, man. I'm gonna have to have.
Well, you're not saying it. I am. You're not saying it, and you don't. And I will let you off the hook. You don't need to respond. Don't feel like you need to defend them.
No.
But baby, you can't.
I'll let you have your space. This is your safe space to say your piece.
Can I have a hug?
No, you wouldn't give me no hug earlier. I try to get a down.
I have to get to a hug, and now I'm there. Can I have a hug?
Yes, you can have a hug. Thank you. Gee. Dang, that was quick. I feel good.
I love it. I love that they got to that place. That was beautiful. I love that. I sincerely appreciate that they got to that place. It bothers me, man. It does. Shannon, you're going to have to stand on truth and stand on justice, bro. You can't be somebody that's worried about ruffling feathers. You passed that point. You have the most popular platform in the country. The most rapidly growing platform in the news space, the news, whatever this space is, in the podcast space. It has to be. He just won 2 Webby Awards. One was for the interview of the year with Cat Williams, 60 million plus views, and just his platform, the best sports podcast as well, with him and Ocho and Gilbert Arenas. Dog, you cannot worry about ruffling feathers. You got to get beyond that. It is, I'm sorry, guys. It's problematic, right? It is problematic every time someone says something that's true, that's about one of these Hollywood types or one of these celebrity types or whatever it is, and you're like, uh-oh, you gonna get me in trouble. You gonna get me in trouble. You can't do that. Nah, man. Nah. You can't worry about that. But I realized now, earlier when I was saying your older brother, slightly older than me, you come from a different culture. You know, me, I'm closer to the East Coast. DC, we're a little rowdy. I don't know. Not as conservative as your background. I think you're from Alabama. I don't know. Shit, I don't know. We got coach. Not all black people gonna be the same. But I'm just saying you gotta stand on it. Stand on it. And if your guest is standing on it, let them stand on it. You ain't got to chime in. You know, you could just, you might, I guess you could say, hey, that hasn't been my experience, but okay. Because when you jumped up about Ocho, everybody knows you right about Ocho. That guy's horrible. He throw black people under the bus all the time for white folks. Talk to a nice black guy. She's right. In fact, I like her more after that exchange. This whole thing has been great. Because I got to see her moments I was like, then I was like, yeah. Then I root for her. And then at the end, he got the hug thing. This is perfect. I feel like I just watched the movie. I got more out of this interview than I would get out of usual movies. It had everything. It had a great plot. It had action, intense moments, some funny. You know what I'm saying? This was dope. But the only other thing I want to say is, people weren't attacking you. They were attacking your spot. Fam, this is a capitalistic society that we live in. And hopefully it wasn't your friends who were making content or making comments about you that made you feel a certain kind of way. But dog, if you don't know people, and you the guy up top, people can make money off of you. They can make money off your content. They can make money talking about, discussing your content. What do you expect them to do? This is an ecosystem. You're at the top of the food chain. They're going to eat off you. And if you are crazy enough to let that bother you, brother, come on now. You can't let it bother you. You're going to have to learn. It's nothing personal. I criticize politicians. I criticize those people for a living. I criticize business owners. Okay? I criticize presidents. I have not met most of these people. I never met Steve Mnuchin. I never met Kamala Harris, VP Harris. You know, I never met Madam Secretary Clinton. But I criticize the hell out of them. You can't criticize an actor or a football player? But that's my consideration, man. That's my thing. That's my thing. But I love the way Amanda Seales was dropping knowledge and science on this thing, man. When she said, let people apologize and ask for forgiveness. There's a process before you just willy-nilly open the door for them. And Amanda's absolutely correct. It does look like capitalism. When you let people back in who should not be let back in, you let them in without having to go through the subsequent reasonable hurdles that they should have to go through based on their past deeds. Candace Owens, to let Candace Owens back into black spaces, to black culture, whatever, after all the crap that she done, white people don't get this, that's fine. You don't have to get it. I'm telling you for you. I'm telling you. There's a price to pay when you throw black people under the bus consistently. When you say stuff like, we don't need no Black History Month. That's an insult to have Black History Month. What we need that for? And we don't need no damn reparations. And what's Juneteenth? That's a made-up super holiday. And this person got killed, this black person killed by cops. He was a bad guy. He deserved to be killed. And our culture's bad. And we don't do that but kill each other. We're horrible. Like we got so many lazy people. And these are things Candace Owens has said over the years. If you could just stack them up. And in one weekend, she went on like 2 major black platforms. Like nothing happened. And they didn't even bring up her past. That was just 2 minutes ago. It's not like she said all this shit, left for 2 years, and then came back like Omarosa. Nah. Or Stacey Dash. She didn't even leave for a month. She lost her job with Daily. She lost her slot at Daily, whatever. Daily Talker, Daily Vibe, Daily Chuckler, whatever that is. Daily Caller. She lost her job there, and then the next week she was on Breakfast Club. They wanted the scoop. They wanted the money more than they wanted to keep it real. So I love what Amanda Seales said here about it. It was on point. It makes me realize just how smart she is. And yeah, she's not to be trifled with. You got to respect when someone just has certain skills. Like I'm a person, I respect what I bring to the table. I can respect what you bring to the table. It is what it is. Everybody has their own gifts. Shannon, you have gifts. This is Amanda Seales' gifts, bruh. Shut up and let her work. You know what I'm saying? But I thought it was great. Let me go to some comments, fam. What say you people? What say you people? Dr. West shredded Owens. Yeah, he did.
Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Don't be fooled by corporate media talking heads misleading the people. Get your news and information from an entity that keeps it real. Tim Black. Tim Black is the host of The Tim Black Show. Independent news that leaves you informed, inspired, and sometimes entertained, but always in the know. Go to timblacktv.com and sign up today. The Tim Black Show is news for people who can't stand the news. See you there.